Our Five Rivers regular council meeting for November 12th will begin. Call the meeting to order. Attendance is taken. Item number 3, approval of the agenda of the regular meeting on November 12, 2025. Motion 111225.01. Be it resolved that council approves the agenda as submitted by the clerk for its regular meeting on November the 12th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
I think Karen and Elaine. Any comments on the agenda? Conditions, no. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, nay. Motion carried. Any disclosures of conflict of interest? No, and I forgot to announce that this session is being recorded. There's nobody online. There's nobody on. Okay. 5, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting on October 14th, 2025. Motion 111225.02. Be it resolved that council approves the minutes as submitted by the clerk for its regular meeting on October the 14th. Can I have a mover?
I'll second it.
Any questions or comments on the minutes? October the 14th. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Against, nay. Motion carried. Approval of the minutes of the special meeting on October 29th, 2025. Motion 111225.03. Be it resolved that council approves the minutes as submitted by the clerk for its special meeting on October 29th, 2025.
So moved.
Seconded.
Karen. Mike. Questions or comments on minutes? Yes, Elaine.
On 5, I think that's, I made my new grader. 5B, okay, yeah. So it says, that there is not due to increase in 2026, but it is, isn't it?
No, it's flat. It's due to increase in 2027. It's the same for 2025, for 2026, but then it increases in 2027.
Okay, I thought when he was here, it went in the report that he had, that big thing, it went up. But
We
that
will
could be-
confirm that, but I'm quite, when I remember looking at it, it was novel that it wasn't going up. So I remember that it was unique that was the one service that was flat year over year. And then it does increase, I think, 2.7% in
2.5, I think.
2.5, yeah, something like that, the following 2027.
Okay.
Anything else on the special meeting minutes? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those against, nay. Carried. We have correspondence, no presentations or petitions. Any questions on the correspondence that has been submitted?
John, Andre, I'd like to have seen the letter. We didn't see the letter the mayor sent. About the property assessment fees.
That
I
came,
read his letter, but we didn't see your letter.
that was a form letter from UMNB. They sent out a whole bunch of material for us. And it was the form letter. Did we include that in our meeting?
I cannot recall the date. I thought, like,
Do you recall? Okay, well, we can provide that with you.
I'd like to-
quickly.
I thought that was sent out, but we'll confirm that,
Yeah.
You know,
Does anybody else get that
It was-
letter?
No, it was discussed at UMNB,
Yeah.
because they wanted
It was-
all the,
Yeah,
they
they
wanted them that was sent.
municipalities to send this letter.
Yes.
I get en masse to the minister to protest the property tax freeze. So,
So I read his letter.
Yeah.
So can you sum up what his letter said? Besides, sorry, or look into
well, it
it?
was,
His letters.
his letter is here.
Yes. Well, did you get anything out of it?
No. Too bad, so bad, have a nice day.
Okay, it's going.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
I can send you the letter, though, Billy.
I like it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else on the correspondence?
It's not in there for the letter that we received of the, our allocation,
Which
twenty
letter?
twenty-six.
Which letter?
Oh,
B,
B, is it? Let's see.
I think it's B, bring
Yeah.
fiscal capacity and capital renewal.
Right, okay, so I just like, because it's lifted there, yeah, it's a notice of allocation. So our allocation is 141,789, and Beau Rivage is 690, 615, and we're one of the lower ones.
What did you
So
say?
I wonder what's going on.
Value of
Yeah.
assets,
We are, it's
We're
like.
getting shafted.
value of assets.
No, it's based on a formula
I know.
and
But that formula doesn't work for
compared
us.
to Beau Rivage, our tax base is bigger than theirs per capita, is larger than theirs because they have a lot of assets and our increase was 3.8% and theirs was like 2.3,
Mhm.
the tax base. So like we are actually richer than Beau Rivage because of the assets we don't
They
have.
get more they get more tax money every year than we do because they have a lot of commercial buildings and they have more expensive assets, Kent Norris, so on and so forth.
They have.
Just as a point of information though, I'm just gonna, fiscal capacity is based primarily on what you're saying, tax assessment and how much you have.
Mhm.
Capital renewal is based on the value of the assets you have now. So it's two different
Yeah,
streams
right.
there, and the two combined are the 141 and 690 for
Yeah.
Beau Rivage.
Yeah.
It is a significant difference, it is growing over time, and it has been a concern to different people, but those two different things. The fiscal capacity used to be called community funding equalization payments.
Mhm.
They have changed the formula. The formula they previously used for community funding equalization is different for fiscal capacity now. They have slightly adjusted it. It was not talked about as much at UMMB. I talked to Matthew, not Boye, but another Matthew who works in that department today. Only today about that, because he's gonna send me information about how exactly they calculate fiscal capacity. So you can see the formula. But yeah, it's based on the mayor said, the tax base for that one. The other one is about how many assets you have.
It's not
Higher
really.
tax
It's value, I should say.
Yeah, it's not really Beau Rivage. It's like, I looked at Heartland, there's only a few plus the rural districts
Mhm.
that are less.
Mhm.
And then ours is one of the lowest, so.
But what I wanted to say is they amalgamated us. They put us together, but we're not getting any money. How are we supposed to grow if we don't get money? And we have to pay, we're paying over 100,000 for us here. We pay what, over 100,000 for arena?
No,
Do you use it? How much are we paying for the, what?
80.
Oh, excuse me, okay, 8, what?
They gave me that.
It's 95.
95, sorry. Sorry, so we're paying that for an arena. Well, let them pay for it, because they got all this extra money. We didn't get any.
I'll just clarify, for
They
the,
ain't smiling, no one
for
else.
the arena,
Yes,
we don't pay any of the debentures or the capital. We only pay for operational expenses for the Kent North Arena, and they cover the deficit. So they are looking after paying for the arena and so it's just operational and that's yearly that we pay for. Yes, Karen?
It's the same as when we get an equalization for the curling club for the time that the curling club is open. Also, there's an outside chance, fingers crossed, have no idea, possibly due to them getting this significant increase, maybe our cost share will go down, maybe.
who decides that, the government or the KRFC?
KRSC or revise.
Well, there's a formula.
Yep.
Now, there's a formula that we have to use. So, yeah,
Well,
Things could change because those numbers have
well,
changed.
I also thought if we're in a hardship, and
I know.
if we're not doing so great and we can't pay it, then we can opt out sometimes. It's not an excuse.
it's for the curling arena, and I think it's, there's a formula there as well. Yeah. It's for
This wasn't
the curling arena.
No, this was for the hockey arena.
No, but we can opt out if we have a lot of expenses
Oh,
for
we
the
do.
curling arena in a certain year. It's like,
Well,
the figure was like 5%. And I can't remember exactly how it read, but, yeah, there's a formula for that too. So,
But we're not in
Yes.
hardship.
but we're, yeah. This evening,
So just in our information we have there too, it's the minimum requirements for the asset management. Is that something we're going to look at? Or is that just,
Yes.
Isn't that
it's not just
in your purview?
Right.
Isn't that in the CAO's purview?
Well, I'm just asking.
anything else in the correspondence? Okay, we're gonna move on to A. My report is included in the package. Have to. I'm in the binder and I'm scrolling to try to find it. Is it before the,
It's number 8.
Well,
Oh, it's after, it's right before the Christmas market,
It's all after the,
asset management.
after asset management?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One
keep
fifty.
going.
It's okay, I get it. Okay, any questions or comments on that?
of course, I did have one here. About, oh yeah, the Kent Regional Service Commission review. Is that the, or what was that? Was this,
Which date was it?
was the last? From your report here.
It would have been
The very last one, is it?
I think,
G.
October 31st.
yeah.
G.
So the government, the province is doing a review of all the regional service commissions. And we met as a commission on October 31st and they interviewed us. And the CEO was there as well. So, and they're going to all 12 of the commissions, so. And then they are also speaking with CAOs and others too. I think, and yeah,
The council, maybe not. There may be forms from them, I believe.
yeah. If there's anything that as a council, we want to submit to them, we can, if there's any concerns or good or bad. We can submit, because there is a form for that.
The review is probably likely because of the restructure of the
Yeah.
RSC, yeah,
Yeah.
because they added so many departments. to it.
Right, exactly, the new mandates and all that, so they're,
So is that,
doing a review.
that survey, is that gonna be in there
Well, it
somewhere?
wasn't a survey.
Okay.
It's just comments that, if there's any comments from council, I mean, I can share that with them. Yvonne Gagnon is the coordinator for that, the facilitator, I should say.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Yep.
that's what that's about. And we will get that from the province, the outcome of that review.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll go to Deputy Mayor Karen Campbell.
Okay, October 3rd to 5th, UMNB and St. John, as well as I had UMNB fourth meeting that Friday morning, and I also had one on the 5th at the end of the conference. On October 7th was the committee of the whole meeting. On October 9th was policy and bylaw committee meeting. On the 14th was a regular council meeting. On the 16th was a UMNB infrastructure committee, followed by a rural plan committee meeting. And on the 23rd, the UMNB fees vote by Zoom. The 24th was the Halloween party, Beersville Harcourt Fire Rescue. The 28th was the policy and bylaw committee meeting. And on the 29th was, apparently we had a special meeting. Yeah, 6 o'clock, we had a special meeting. That's it for me for October.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Billy Flanagan.
Thank you. October 2nd to the 5th, I was in St. John at the conference for the UMNB meeting. October the 7th, Five Rivers Committee of the whole meeting, it was about the budget. October 14th, Five Rivers regular council meeting. October 15th, I attended a meeting here in the boardroom with Barry Glencross. His committee for Rexton signage for former mayors. I was there to be with them on the meeting. We can with them on that. Then, October 23rd, at the KRFC meeting for culture, tourism and recreation was held on Main Street in Bactouche. October 25th, I participated at the trunk and tree and the haunted trail, and I attended it, and me and my family participated in it. And October 29th, we have the Five Rivers special meeting again on budget. And that's my report.
I forgot it in
What date was it?
October 25th,
Okay.
the KRSC Gala Business
Oh,
Award
yeah.
Ceremony,
Yeah.
and congratulations to our survey winner.
Yes.
What did you win?
Good for you.
I don't need
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Well, they had first prize winner at the Halloween contest at the gun club.
There we go. Wait for it.
I got most scaries.
Councillor Katie Robertson,
Just the regular meeting.
Councillor Mike Robertson,
October 7th, attended the committee of the whole meeting. The 14th, a regular meeting. 24th, went to the fire hall Halloween party. And the 29th, we had the spot special budget meeting.
and Councillor Roy Moore.
My reports from October the 14th, November the 11th. October the 23rd, I attended UMNB Zoom meeting. The 25th, attended the Kent Regional Service Commission Entrepreneurial Gala at the St. Charles Community Center. 27th, I was a Rexton Area Healthcare Foundation meeting. 28th, attended the Bylaw and Policy Committee meeting in Council Chambers. The 29th, attended the special meeting of council. And November 11th, attended the Remembrance Day ceremony at the Rexton Lions Hall.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to committee reports. The policy committee meeting on October the 9th, 2025. The minutes are included in your package. And we'll move to the CIO report. Any questions or comments? Tonight?
No, not on that. I was looking at my list here. There was, are we going back to that sponsor request, ladies night? In our list of
The
stuff
Lions
here.
Club.
Yeah, it's good.
Under letters,
That would be under the correspondence.
they didn't really ask for anything.
What?
Yes.
What they
They
asked.
closed.
Pardon?
Just,
Oh, and closed.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
Any questions on the CIO? Aaron?
Number 2.
Okay.
I'll go by numbers.
Okay.
Are there gonna be any further changes to the numbers in the operating budget before submission to the province?
If council approves it as it is, no.
Okay. Thank you. Number 11, that's regarding the curling rink repair. Where did that money come from?
General operating.
And do we know what the final cost was for the Bass River Hall project?
I don't have a final figure, but it's in the neighborhood, it's just north of 35, I think.
Okay. And number 22. Why are we deferring the purchase of a dump trailer?
What numbers is?
22.
So, reason why we're deferring the purchase of a dump trailer and a mini tractor and almost, and every is given some of the overruns we've had, a number of projects, we didn't anticipate having to repair the rec center, having to replace the well at the community center, having to do the install of the sewer and what that costs, having to pay for the install for the new apartments that are on California. Some overages on the two projects we have, one of which is not complete and is still pending. A big part of the cost for that is still outstanding, which is the concrete at Clareville. In aggregate or in total, there's a lot of things that are over, so we're holding the line on all significant spending that we can, including even we talked about Christmas decorations today and what we would consider, where I think we had an allocation of 30 in the budget. And I said, I think I'm of the view that we would not try to spend up to that, or we would try and be frugal. So across the board right now, we're kind of in a frugal mode until we get the fire truck paid for out of the year. We do have our auditor coming in early December to sort of give us the best lay of the land we can and to make sure that the payments we've made for various projects and things we've worked on this year are coming out of the right funds. And so we'll get a good view for our December meeting of what can be transferred into reserves. So yeah, that's the answer, but there's a lot of spending that's gone on and a lot gone over. So we're not pulling the trigger on any of that until we have a better read of where exactly we are.
Okay,
But- One question.
Just back since you mentioned the Christmas decorations, the ones that we have, they could be installed for this year.
Oh, we're definitely doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's gonna happen.
Thing, maybe some light bulbs.
Yeah, it's more a case of whether there was some thought about getting, enhanced or
What?
newer, better lights to put on poles and things of that sort. It would, but that probably is not where we'll go this year.
Billy? Yeah, go ahead.
The money's there for the fire truck, right? I heard you mention the fire truck.
Yes,
But the money's there for that.
when we say it's there, yes, but just 250 of what is going to be paid will be what we put in reserves in January that council voted on to do, which we can do and we will be able to do. 350 of that is from the debenture we just got approved by the province, so that
Yes.
takes us to 5. And then we're about another 150 to get home, and that will come out of combination of the capital reserves and regular capital. So we have the money will be there, yes.
It's
But
just
I don't-
different places. That were just-
Oh, it was always going to be from different places. And there's also some allocation. I mean, we've already made, I think, our full allocation from CCBF itself, right? So part of that was paid for by CCBF, but we may still have some margin there as well. Depends a little on the other two projects.
Okay, they're just, okay.
Okay, we'll go back to Karen.
number 30, regarding the new software for accounting.
Yeah.
In another document that you sent on Monday, it says for 2027, please tell me I read that wrong.
No, I think you read that right. And the reason being is that generally, if you're going to cut over to a new system, you do it at fiscal year start. You wouldn't do it mid-year. You can't really mix it. And since we're not in a position right now, the good news of that is what we can do for 2026 is update our accounts and get our accounts better aligned. So now that we've gone through the process and what you have in your package where there's been a fuller itemization of all the entries in the budget, we can create codes to align with those. And so our codes will be, and it'll give us a year to sort of tidy up our accounts, add codes, get everything aligned. So then at the end of next year, you could do a transition, because that's not a light switch. That's a 3+ month process to bring over, both our data and our accounting structure is not really, we just weren't ready to do that now. So there were a lot of other priorities and things that we were able to accomplish this year, but that we did not. So we'll use 2026 as the year to get the data ready and aligned so we can update the software.
Okay, number 31. I found out today, this is a 2-part process, this bridge at Main River. It's a repair in 26. It's a replacement with a Bailey Bridge in 27, which is going to be quite extensive. So my question is, why is the resident not being told to contact DTI direct?
I think.
If they don't know, DTI doesn't know, they don't know.
Yeah, I believe, I spoke to the resident, they have contacted DTI, so if I'm
Good luck.
they have not, then they have. So, yeah, that had happened before the first time I spoke.
Yeah.
So,
And just a point on that, Karen, I know I've heard from DTI before, comments like, or the province,
Yeah.
well, we haven't heard from any citizens.
Yeah.
So it's important that whenever we have a complaint from a citizen, that we tell them to contact province directly.
yeah,
Yeah,
Number 35, the 116, 134 intersection, has anything been done on that? Has a letter been sent or anything?
not yet.
There has been a lot of complaints though. And there's been a couple of
It's
accidents.
an
Why
absolute
not?
nightmare.
No, it's-
That's why these big.
Yeah, so
Um,
why hasn't the letter been sent?
well, it's been one of those things that, we have not gotten to, but the part of the other side of the letter, there's a fairly clear set of options. You either leave it status quo as is, or you install lights. There really is not, there isn't too much in the third way, and so,
But we don't have the option to install lights unless they give us the okay.
that would, I believe that's correct. They have to give us the authority to do that, but then lights on that intersection would come with a whole other set of issues. I mean, maybe cost and so forth. So we do need to look at that further, but what's that
You mean the cost would fall on us?
yes,
part? Yeah.
yes. Uh-huh,
Yeah, that's,
they're special. Okay,
lights that like at night kind of turns to, flashing.
Yeah, you can probably set a timer so it goes to yellow at midnight or something like, or 10 or whatever, what the appropriate time would be, but.
Okay, forget I asked that.
No, it's a fair enough question. We do
Everything
need,
costs
we should
money.
follow, it's just a daunting one because you kind of know where it's gonna.
Why you
protracted.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Because
They don't know.
it's a municipal, it's a
They
shared,
only own the 116, they don't own.
it's a municipally shared, it's that shared
Yeah.
roadway.
So you're saying they would share if we fix?
No,
Do we have one of those things, the,
DTI provides them.
okay, we don't have
Counters.
the counters though,
Traffic
how many or whatever.
Yeah.
We
They
had to have-
they have to install.
We had to have one on the 465 just to get our center line
Yeah.
painted. Okay, I'm almost done. Number 40. On the Greenwood Lodge thing. Should we issue a deadline or just leave this wide open forever?
That's a good point.
We can't leave it wide open forever.
I
We've
think,
given them conditions, but it's crickets, which is, okay, they have things to do, I understand that. But how long do they have to get this done? As long as they want? And do we hold this money just out there in the air until they get their poop in a pile or?
They've never once come back
No.
after the
no,
MOU, which.
No,
no, although I mean, I'll just say that we did hear from a third party. Just a general question about the status of the project. But I mean, we will have to visit as part of the new capital renewal funding, despite the fact we're not getting a transmit, we are getting some funding, and we will, in order to get that funding, you have to do a plan. And I'm saying at that point, you could revisit whether you want to do that, whether you want to make an adjustment out of your CCBF thing, which currently contains it, which is not run out at the end of the year, it stays there
Okay.
until you decide to change it, so it's there until you decide. So if there was a decision to omit or to exempt, that could be done, we'll look at that, but then there's also a new program coming out, which will be able to spend 100,000 on our own assets, which may free up some money there. So anyway, there'll be a chance next year for council to revisit this decision.
because we can't change it midstream.
So they're catering events just about every other weekend for
That's where
sure.
the Christmas party.
And 29th, they have a dance and I see posters
I
still
feel
there.
like we can't just leave it there, forever. I feel like that eventually we would have to either set a deadline and say like, look, you can reapply. You know what I mean? But we can't just like indefinitely hold these funds aside, because, yeah,
It's still quite a bit of money.
yeah.
I agree with you, Katie. And the fact is, he sent them a letter and you really didn't get a reply back.
Well, the municipality sent the letter.
Yeah.
Yes, so,
Yeah, there's been no
Conditions.
communication, no response to it yet.
So-
No written response.
I only have two more things. Scary. Number 42. The boat. Ownership and insurance, the reason I'm asking is because non-municipal vehicles and apparatus are not to be stored in a municipal building. So if we don't own it, is it stored in the fire station?
Well, I think when they purchase it, it becomes part of their inventory. It ends up being owned by the municipality. We insure it and all those sorts of
Okay.
things, so. But, yeah, that process is,
I know. And have the fire chiefs been given the procurement policy?
yes.
Okay. The financials that followed your CAO report, it's just the next page. At the very bottom, you show a surplus.
Are we
Just what
going?
he said.
Yeah.
We're not finished the CAO report yet.
Oh, I went through, oh, sorry. It's part of the CAO report, I thought.
It is separate.
So does anybody else have any questions on the CAO report?
I had one,
Okay.
and just let me see, right here, 21. In 2026, we plan to engage sewer firms to assess our lagoon, including Trans Aqua and all these. Have we actually went and talked to these people yet?
We've been in communication with, those two firms, and well, one's a Transaqua, it's a firm, it's an organization, representatives from them who've just on a voluntary, charitable basis have given us their, benefit of their knowledge and their assessment. They put us in contact with CBCL. CBCL is the company that did the work to repair the inlet, which is done. We've sorted again, this time of year. That's something we plan to sort of, do next year, is take that and, in particular about the pipe and other things and what the plan should be for that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Did you want to make any comments?
No.
I wanted to ask, sorry. I only asking two.
Oh, good for you, you should ask him.
Okay, number 22, I don't get this, because I thought administration has deferred assets of option to purchase a dump trailer. I thought we bought one as approved by council, and it says here, as approved by council, pending completion of the year end of the fire truck came in January. So we don't have a trailer that they need, and so we're kind of waiting until we pay off the fire truck to see where we're at. Is that it?
And the
That-
projects.
Yeah, that's largely correct. We had a need and ended up renting a trailer while we were finishing the job at Clairville and getting the base installed. So right now, the dump trailer, we don't have as much use, and over the winter won't have as much use for the dump trailer. It's not typically, and we figure if we do need such a vehicle or such a piece of equipment, then we'll rent it between now and then. So as I was saying earlier, like we're just trying to spend to make sure that, because we haven't landed yet on the Clairville range, and there's a few things that if there's lots of overspend through the budget, so where we cannot spend, where we cannot make major purchases, we're not doing them right now.
Okay.
So until we get through the year end, know, more clearly or more exactly where we're gonna end this year in terms of how much we can put in reserves, and then heading next year, get fire truck, get the other things paid for. And then we'll have hopefully a clean base on which to do capital planning next year.
And we'll know this in December?
You'll know how much we can put in reserves in December, yes. We should have a good idea where we're in the year. That's why we had the account. It's coming here in the first week of December.
It's great to have reserves, and I understand about reserves, it's so important with everything going on with us. But also, one concern that I read twice, and I ain't no mechanic. But that thing there, that snow blower that's leaking,
Tractors.
Yeah, no, that's a concern. I mean, the trackless is an older machine that is definitely grinding its way to its finale, and we believe, I think Josh has reported that
I read
he's a
it.
mechanic by trade, and we think with a week's work, we can get it and get it to use it through this winter.
Yeah, another, okay.
But, I mean, that's not a guarantee.
Season of miracles.
Yeah, Christmas miracle, yeah, I mean, but that's,
That's a concern.
we take that advice, yeah, in general, we're just trying to be really cautious about and frugal about.
Okay.
Capital spending right now.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to the finance report, which is B. Yes, Karen.
On that first page that you included behind your CAO report, the one with the black and the green. Year to date, January to September. General operating. It shows a projected surplus of 342,000. Is that correct?
Well, that's the current figure, but we have some more spending that we know is gonna hit that between now and year end. So, a lot of the projects I just mentioned, a lot of them all taking place in the last 2 months.
Like in Clairville and Bass River.
Yeah. Clareville's largely, or Bass River rather, is largely paid for, but as of this report, through September, it was not. So all of those projects, a tremendous number of them are all hitting. We'll hit that number directly or in full or in part, some of them partly capital, partly operating. So the resetting the list includes the work we just did in the street, the 2 projects in the rural areas, the work at the recreation center, the well, I don't think was fully reflected in here at the end of September. So there's a lot that sort of gets, will have to get processed.
Yes,
Well-
Karen.
Was Clairville and Bearsville, Bass River, were they not initially funded through the gas tax?
They were, but as,
I know they're well over.
yeah, the
Budgeted,
trouble
but-
is the over, that's,
Yep.
I ended up speaking, we'll say up to some of the province about that, and that initially, we haven't had absolute confirmation, or final confirmation, I should say, that, how much we're over 100 on that, we'll go 50-50 with the province. So, being responsible for that, for the time being, I'm assuming we take the full hit. If that does occur that way, in which case, we'd either have to go into our operating or hit our capital. Our capital has already been reduced by those projects, so.
Do we currently have enough in reserves to pay the payment on the fire truck in January, or we are requiring money left over? Or surplus won't be
So,
applied till,
on the fire truck, say we paid $250 down, we're due pay about $950, but we get the HST back, so it's effectively closer to $850 that we have to pay. So we have to get the 6. They're saying earlier, $250 that will come from a deposit we make from our reserve or carryover from 2024,
yes,
which we take $250 out.
yes,
$350 will come from the line of credit that we get until we get the debenture set up in the spring. So
okay,
that gets us to,
Okay.
that gets us to 5. And then the difference between the 5 and the 6 will either come out of capital or an increase in what we would see the CCBF or operating.
because we do have capital reserves also.
So, and if we also have coming in, we think if we get, for example, if we get the sale finalized on the property, that's 55, that comes in December from the Warren property
Mhm.
industrial park. We probably, anyways, I mean, too much
What about the
detail.
one on Main?
That-
That's 90.
May not get landed and processed before
Before.
year end. So there's a little bit of movement around paying. It's not in jeopardy in my view at all, but it's just a matter of what the most fair way to pay for it is.
Okay, So this document you sent out yesterday, this one,
Yeah,
are we doing that now or later?
later. First item is agenda.
That's this here?
The blue, yeah,
We'll go through that in detail.
Okay,
so
thank
that's
you.
it for me.
Any other questions on that? Okay, we're moving on to the community development reports. It's in your package. Yes, Karen.
Under content creation,
Content, the
yeah, it's on
Fourth one
page
down.
2,
of 3,
and it's the fourth one down.
content creation,
Mm-hmm.
right after community engagement.
Okay.
See it?
Yeah.
So, where are they?
Promotional items have been created and posted in attempts to increase participation at our.
Posted where?
I think it means like the social media posts.
Facebook.
I haven't seen it.
Posters and stuff.
But
Has
I
it been-
thought promotional items were gonna be promotional items, you know, those lovely little things,
Swag.
pins, you know?
I don't think she's talking about that.
Oh,
It's for
And-
events. These are for participation at community and holiday.
Okay.
events.
templates at the bottom of that page, that's wonderful. Does anybody here know how to get on SharePoint?
No,
Any counselor? Well, other than Elaine?
I never.
Billy? Mike?
I never have, I'm sure I can figure it out. I do.
Have it bookmarked.
Okay, because we were never, like, I used to have bookmark, now it's gone. I don't know how to get it back.
Maybe
Or
we
maybe it's gonna be fuddled.
That's not good, isn't it?
I mean, it's interesting to have their email signatures are complete, all that stuff that we couldn't use.
Yeah. Getting the counselor fully connected into SharePoint is something that we should definitely try
Yeah,
to target more
absolutely.
fully in 2026. It really requires like a training session a bit. I know there's a link you can open up, but I mean, there's a
Yeah.
little more to it than that. And to describe like, SharePoint is a document management system that's been around forever.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a little odd, it's not the most user-friendly in the world, but it is free with your 365 license, and it does have a lot of good features that are really useful for file management. So
Is it eScribe?
the point is, eScribe's a different, it's not a content management system so much,
No.
it's like a council meeting, it's a good system, but just a different thing.
They use-
It's more to manage the official minutes and meetings
Yeah.
of the council.
Okay.
And we put that through, typically people integrate into their website, so.
This one.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Elaine?
Not a question, a comment. On the next bulletin, I have addressed this before, but I didn't see it in the last one that was sent out. Could we put in there information about SCAN, that's CAN, Safe Communities and Neighborhoods, and report on how to report on unsightly premises that the
Yeah.
public can.
I believe we've added, if we haven't, I will check, but I believe we've added a new form on our website under it's the far right menu.
Right.
That you can report our unsightly premise on now. So that was just added, I think, last week.
Okay, but to put it in the bulletin so they know.
Yes.
There.
Yeah, when we do that, we also put it out on like Facebook and we put a notice on our main website to say it's now available. But I'll check on that because we should do that if we get, and you said scan, safe communities.
I'm not sure we should be putting the SCAN, that's a program from the province, and,
Just information on it though, how, if you.
it's on
Have
the
to
leasing
report.
website.
But do they know that? Does the public know that?
Well-
If they don't want to call in, that, because that was at that meeting,
yes,
public do not want to call in, so this is how you can report it without
but
giving your name.
Roger Dwyer process.
So there's Crime Stoppers, which they also know about, and, yeah, like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not really a fan of SCAN, I have my own opinions on it, so.
If it's a provincial program rather than municipal, is it something?
Provincial program.
But the thing about the, you were saying, Elaine was saying about in the bulletin, how to report unsightly premises. There are people who don't use computers. So I think it's a really good idea to put it in
And
the
that's the
newsletter.
municipal item, so
Yes.
yes, I totally agree,
Absolutely.
we should have that.
Yeah,
and
so
provide
that they
information
can
to the
find
to
out, they can make a call or they can
residents, yes,
fill out a, like the options,
yeah,
right? For sure.
thank you. Okay, moving on to, community, recreation report. It's from Marley,
I have a couple of questions.
all right.
Marty's looking for funding, for the, splash pad outdoor rink. And I was just wondering what the cost would that be?
Mm.
What would the money be used for?
No, how much
It
does-
says what it's gonna be used for.
Making 2 rooms, male and
rooms.
female, for changing wet clothing, bathing suits in the summer.
Yeah, it should be get into
Into the
the,
winter, yeah.
So I just wanted to know how much that would cost.
mostly.
Was there an
materials,
estimate?
I think.
Hmm?
Mostly materials, that was it. Lumber's expensive.
Mm-hmm, okay, well, I just wondered if you could hit a.
Yeah, I unfortunately, I do not have an answer for that.
Okay.
I do not know what the estimate of that is.
Okay.
That's not, but we can take that as a note to follow up and we'll.
Is the shed salvageable or need a whole new?
So, that's also, I think, an open question. I'm not sure we know.
Available.
How old is it, Elaine?
Oh.
Since I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
It's been there, we did some work,
Is
I
that
think we changed it once, but yeah.
It was
Just
just
put new
renovated.
windows, we put new doors. and-
Oh,
then
and put a new floor in it.
Yeah, well, that was done lately again.
Yeah.
It's been there. Yeah. It's a big barn, like, big,
So it's not that bad, it's just,
and it should be bigger.
oh yeah,
It'd be big
for sure.
hardly to put male and female changing.
Yeah.
No,
that
you'd
was
have
bad.
to,
No, but
you'd have to
the
put
thing
it
is,
in. Probably be cheaper to build a new one than put on an addition.
Yeah, all those things, I mean, we haven't taken this serious look at it.
Okay, then the second thing is,
Right.
I'd like to know how much money was received from the students that sold the boarding pass
Carson's line.
at Carson's Landing. The Carson's Landing, for this season, inventory removed and everything cleaned and winterized. My question is, how much money did the students raise from the voters?
I can tell you.
Probably in our financial
I can tell you
statement that we would have received.
Okay,
Yep, $8,677.16.
8,000.
$677.16 as of October 27th.
So what time did it close? That's October 27th?
Closed on Thanksgiving, didn't it?
Okay,
That's for the season. It was estimated estimated to be 7,000 and they brought in 86.
wonderful.
Yep.
That's great.
Any more questions on the recreation report? Elaine?
This is, yeah. She mentioned in there about the rental at the recreation center on that sign outside. Could we not put that on our digital sign advertising that?
Yes, we're talking about, we've got to get, along with doing the highway signs and the street ones that we're planning on doing. We're looking at trying to get the signage at the rec center. There's a couple that are in need of, we know we've got a blank right over, I drive by it almost every day and I anxious anyone to see that not be empty, the way it is now. And,
Yeah,
yeah, I know you could have, to your point, you could move to an electronic sign, but those are expensive, maybe not this year.
no,
I think she
just
needs
for
to
now,
promote
just now.
rentals of the rec center. on the side.
Oh,
Yes, just for
sorry,
now,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we could certainly do that.
for now, and to,
Good
and,
idea.
to send out, letters maybe to businesses. Like, they might, this is maybe late now, but it could have been for Christmas, Eve, that, you know.
Yeah,
Things, so
yeah.
send out
New Year's?
business people, you know, it's
yeah,
available.
promote the, for rental use and that kind of thing, yeah.
All three.
I just wanted,
Get
have you
Tiffany.
done anything?
Take mine off. for-
What was the-
Go ahead, Billy.
Okay, I just wanted
Oh,
a
sorry.
quick comment on the bottom of comment. Anybody I talked to about weddings, everyone was happy this year with all the weddings there. So, and she says she's got 2 weddings already for next year, so that's promising. The Scarecrow contest will have at UMMB, but anything I heard about it went over great. The Scarecrow, it was first time having that. And last of all is the trunk and treat. As I said, I participated and I went to it and I thought it nothing more than amazing. And the students got $1,720.85 to go towards their prom, so. So let Marley know, and Marley, everybody, Marley and so was Emily, Josh, I was there, they all helped, everybody. It was really good, really good, and you know what we got? We got a lot of wee ones, little ones that, you know, it was really beautiful. We had a wonderful day, I know you guys were doing, going to the, but we couldn't have had a better day for it. And the high school kids were amazing too.
Yeah.
Good.
So I think she's trying to make it an annual thing.
Good.
Yeah. Oh my God, what was it? Anyway, oh yeah, the tree lighting.
Oh, yeah.
So I know this year has had to be delayed, it's okay, but rather than moving it forward, could we strive for the first Saturday or the last in November? So that it would be up
Oh,
earlier than later, like, because now it's December the 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
So if we could have it in November,
yeah.
then
Well, we made a motion last year to have it the first Friday in December.
like it didn't work
And
No,
what
well-
happened?
so
Why can't we do it this year?
to move, just a
The
So,
Lions Club had already planned something for that Friday, so having the market on the second Friday, so that's when, it doesn't mean the lights can't be lit.
But they don't want to sing
That
that.
day, what they'll do is they'll turn them off and then, for the tree lighting, we'll turn them on again.
but
But yeah,
maybe,
it was a motion of council for, so we probably have to make another motion
good motion.
if we want it. But the reason why we changed it in the first place is because that's when UMNB was having its conference.
always.
And we
Yeah,
we were away
Yeah.
the first year, so.
And you have to coordinate with them because if they're having markets, they don't want
Yeah.
it in there,
could
in
we,
the bathrooms and
could
they
we
make the hot
poss,
chocolate.
could we possibly send a letter to the Lions Club?
I think Emily's already
We've
talked to
already
them now. It's already been,
That's already.
yeah, the first Friday of
December.
December, it's us, it's
Cool.
already.
Yeah.
And it might be warmer, because last year it was old. There were 3 of us there.
I'd just like to add comments from Clody with the Kent Regional Service Commission on the performance of Marley and Emily, and she raves about them. She says they're doing such a fantastic job, and she couldn't say enough. So, yeah, if you can pass those comments along, yeah.
Good.
It would council, if we did put the lights up in the last week of November, we can just turn them off for
Yeah.
the ceremony, like a
Yeah.
day ahead or something, and then do the ceremony.
Yeah.
Is that what you're?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
'cause
it
last-
was snowsuits and you can't get them up like,
Yeah, we can-
sure, yeah.
Because last year, we,
It's just a tree like.
Yeah,
like
last
that
year-
tree stuff.
last year we got there and the lights were already on.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard to have a tree lighting ceremony when the tree's already lit.
Does council want them turning off? Like, we can putting them up and turning them on, of course.
Yeah, that's fine.
Keep them on as well, and then turn them off.
Yes,
Just a
yeah.
tree, you mean?
Just that day. You know what I mean? So when we get there, if they're not already lit.
Yeah, no.
Just a
no, I
big
got that.
tree.
Yeah, just a big tree, exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay,
And
moving
maybe
on to
light the
the
fires before the
Public
people
Works
get there.
report. Any questions or comments on that?
I think I've already said what I had to say. Well, I will pray really hard every night that the snow blower is when we're here, without leaking oil.
Okay. So, number 11, business arising from prior meetings, A, 2026 operating budgets. So proposed motion, 111225.04. Be it resolved that Council of Five Rivers resolves that the sum of $5,308,935 be the total operating budget of the local government for 2026. And that the sum of $4,683,525 be the warrant of the local government for 2026. And the tax rates for the local government for 2026 will be 1.3985 for Rexton, 0.7025 for Rishabakto Parish, 0.7755 for Welford, and 0.8025 for Harcourt. Can we have a mover
I move.
and a seconder?
Yeah.
Questions and comments?
Who's next?
Sorry. Okay, on this lovely little new sheet, the blue on the top, it goes sideways. So this warrant, $4,683,521. Is that it? That all? That's it? That's all? That's our final number?
Yeah, so what we did, just to clarify, is that, we put these in the provincial templates. Those are the ones we submit now. You do this online, so this is the printed version. In any event, so we did them in there. We worked from a spreadsheet from which we produced these two, and what I did in there was I added, I noted this earlier to the mayor, a comment column. So every item in the budget, there's a brief explanation in there to say where it came from or what change, occurred to that item. And this is not, it's the blowout of all the items, so, and then in here, I updated the values. I would say, and, you may notice there's a $3 discrepancy between what goes on the budget in the form, and the 85 versus the 92. I can just tell you that's a rounding error over 100 items, and that was added to the, or deducted, I think, from the amount we're transferring to reserves in order to square those two. But otherwise, all of the figures in these three documents match. They're all identical. And there's no, unless council would want to change, there will be no other changes.
No, the only reason I was asking is because version 1.02, 1.03, and 1.04, they were all different. And now this one's different again, and I just wanted to make sure that changed.
But what specifically are you saying?
The warrant, like when you did when we had our special meeting and when we had our committee of the whole meeting,
Yeah.
those numbers
Those,
changed every time.
so those, and they
numbers.
will change every
Okay.
time, because as you, that's like, not,
Changing.
well, it's to be expected, because for anyone listening or, as you work through a budget, figures go up and down.
Yeah.
You get the actual number for the police, and then that changes. You get the actual number from the KRSC. You make minor changes maybe to staffing. Those numbers will always sort of, but what they generally do is they tighten until you get to your final number.
Well, the warrant was,
Yeah.
So for example, on line 108, which is 15599,
Which document are you?
this one, the one with line number.
That one?
08?
Yeah.
What page is that?
Revenue from
Right on the front.
sale.
Look on the side, line numbers, 108. It says sale of municipal asset, north lot, south lot. I thought that was 89,000.
It is, so what I did there was intentionally, they're not consummated. They're not finalized. We don't know that someone will buy the north lot, and it does look as though the south lot will probably get transacted in 2026 and not 5.
Okay,
In terms of when we receive the money and all that sort of thing.
okay,
So yes, that is, if you will, a very conservative figure.
okay.
That's intentionally conservative for that, So if we're on, I didn't think it made sense to put it at 0, because there's a high probability that we're going to get more than that, but at the same token, didn't max it out.
Okay. On the third page, line 220. Which is 22411,
Yeah,
Which page is this again, sorry?
third page.
Third page? In the red?
Huh?
Okay, what number again?
it's on
220.
the far left, there's numbers, Counselor Flanagan, you can just look right here.
Yeah, I found it.
So this line is for Beersville Fire Department. it's only 1,000, it's not 2,000. So that should be 1,800, not 2,800.
Is the deputy fire chief is receiving $1,000 now?
Mhm.
But last year, we had a discrepancy there.
Yeah, but, yeah,
So we moved them the same, deputy fire chief in one department
No.
makes what the other one makes. Well, I know that wasn't what they
Yeah.
did this year. but,
Yeah. but it's showing for 2026, 2,800, and it shouldn't be.
Well,
Should be
it's
18.
based on, you can see in the cell, it's 2,000 plus 500 plus 300.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be 1,000 plus 500 plus 300. The base is 1,000 in Bearsville. Not two.
More
It's
than,
because-
the deputy fire chief is less than the dispatcher administrator.
Yep,
It's because he specifically requests a lower.
yeah, that's right. Well, no, it's a different person this year. It's like Dave's stepping away and it's fine. Did I not send you the names?
I would tend to think, so the county information, I don't know that you would, in most cases, want to pay the same position, the same amount, regardless of who happens to occupy the position.
It was only 1,000 last year, that's the argument. In our department.
There are lots of things that were different last year than this year in the fire department budget in particular. There were lots of adjustments that were made across the board to further equalize and normalize what people make in different positions, as well as equipment allocations and all sorts of other things. So.
Because last year, for example, the Rexton Fire Department Deputy Fire Chief made $2,000. Our Deputy Fire Chief made 1,000. So why do they have to equalize this year?
Well, that makes the assumption without being, that was a good thing last year. I would say it wasn't. It doesn't make a lot of sense that if you have matching positions in two departments, that you have two recreation directors that had comparable responsibilities and same title, you would presumably pay them accordingly and not pay one twice what the other gets.
It's hard to justify one position doubling their wages and the rest don't.
It was a personal request from the deputy.
It is.
chief.
It's hard.
It wasn't,
Yeah, but.
he doesn't want to be paid.
And Mark specifically said 1,000, there's 3 more that are different. And we understand they want it equalized, which is great, but if one fire department doesn't want as much as the other, do they have to take it?
So does the deputy fire chief, want to remain at the $1,000?
Yes.
Yes, he doesn't want to receive the 2,000.
That's what was agreed upon when he took the position.
Okay.
He didn't think there was anything. And then the same,
Bad thing, they don't.
no, line 226, you forgot to add the $300 cell allowance. He's a full-time firefighter.
He is a full-time firefighter.
Yes.
226,
And it's supposed to be 1,000 plus 500 plus 300 is supposed to be 1,800, not 2,000.
So the maintenance person actually is also a firefighter?
Yes, same as the last two were. He's taken the place of 2. There was one in Harcourt Station, there was one in Beersville Station, $1,000 each. They were both full-time firefighters. They're both giving it up, being replaced by one person who's gonna make $1,000.
Yeah, I would say on, returning to the last point, I think my point of information, I think council should make a decision as to whether they want differential rates for the same position in 2 different departments. Or they don't. I would not recommend it myself. I understand the history. I understand the request. I don't think it's good policy to do that because it leads to more. The more you get on one page and you stay there, the more you'll get both departments aligned going ahead into the future. The longer you preserve And the differentials, the more, the two departments are non-integrated. I mean, it presumably, they have comparable responsibilities and job roles and descriptions. Then the only logical conclusion would be that one is either underpaid or one is overpaid. If they're making different amounts and they're doing the same job. So there is a really great rationale that it's a personal preference, I think is less important than it is.
Well, it was what was set up in the Constitution in the fire department up there
At what year?
before amalgamation, but
Right.
everything was before amalgamation.
But it's 2025 and we're looking at 2026 budget.
I think that's fair. I think that's up to them. I think
But it's up to the fire chief.
But that's what I mean.
It's not strictly speaking up to the fire.
If
chief.
we're saying that it should be the same, then it should be them together. They can talk, the two fire chiefs can meet and their deputies, and they can decide what the numbers are, and then it's the same for everyone. I think that's not a bad idea. I think I can appreciate that some people have different circumstances at home, whether it's, I know some people don't want the extra money from that because then you don't get their,
Extra income tax.
yeah, then you don't get like the one income tax thing that firefighters do get. So I can appreciate that, but I think, I do understand the point of because the other side of that is optically for the people who don't know that the deputy wants less money, that gives anyone who just looks quickly and says, well, oh my God, they're getting less money. Oh my God, they're getting more money. So,
Yeah.
I agree, they should be the same, because we just went through that. And things weren't the same. So now we're trying to get them, if that was, firefighters do not want that, they can donate the $1,000 back to their association. So it's like, yeah.
Well, I think the administration would decide what that money went to.
Well, if we're making, we're paying.
Unless they take it.
Well,
Because
that's
if
what
they-
it's.
Yeah, but if they don't want to take it, then the administration would.
No, but we're saying that's what they're
Yeah.
getting. They're gonna take it. That's what.
Well, but if it affects the income tax and
But
like some people like they get the supplement and all that, if it affects their finances, then they can refuse it, not take it at all. But then it's up to the administration to,
The other thing you can do here, and not to be funny about it, but you could leave that as it is in the budget and decide after the fact to pay them less.
well, that's what.
But that could, did I not follow what you're?
Yeah, so if they refuse it, if they only want
Right.
1,000, it should be their choice, only,
Yeah.
or 50 or nothing,
Right.
if they don't want any.
So you could do that.
But if we keep it at 2,000, like the same in the
Yeah.
budget, and then it's up to them.
true, because then it's, they were off, that's the amount they were offered. That's,
that looks fair. It looks.
yeah,
Yes.
and it is fair. Yeah, it is fair and yes, I think that does make sense.
Does that work for you, Karen?
I don't know, it's up to the chief.
Well, I think it's up to council whether, it stays in this budget or not, so, we have consensus that it would stay as is.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because that's what they're being offered. They're being offered the same amount. And if one wants to.
What is your look at it and look for it?
Yeah,
And there may be other occasions here, but the numbers you're agreeing to in the motion don't get affected by the change of 300.
I know,
But the
but-
micro will, so there will be an adjustment. I can easily make that 300 and take it off of the amount to reserve. It's a rounding.
Yeah, I know.
amount. So that will stay.
Okay.
That change I can make easily.
So on line 456, which is way ahead, just go for the numbers.
Which number, sorry?
456. It assumes a 15% increase. It's other development, decorative lighting, etc. Excuse me, assumes a 15% increase, but the value's going down. How did we do that? It's going from 30,000 down to 20,000, but it assumes an increase. My math is not always really great, but that's really bad. Should that be reversed maybe?
Yeah, I think out of the 625 items you've made, found the
Sorry,
typo in that one.
sorry.
But no, that was decreased because what happened,
Decreased or increased?
to provide a little bit of context to the excuse me, to the adjustments since the last version you saw, and to your earlier point, Deputy Mayor.
Yep.
We, on core funding, I initially had baked in the capital renewal, which was wrong.
Right.
So when I took that out, that left a bit of a gaping hole in the budget. And then 30,000 got put back in in a positive way in another area. But then I had to make a series of micro adjustments across all line items to get back down to zero. So went through a process of just looking to see where you could cut or what you could thin in order to get back to zero, and leaving tax rates and other things where they were. So the primary way we got back to zero, like 3/4 of it was just reducing the allocation to a capital reserve.
Right.
But there were some line item changes where I just shaved some things, and I think that was one where I dropped the number.
The last one I have is 572. It's events and celebrations, Christmas and New Year's, based on 2025 figures. 2,500. What are we doing? Are we having a party? Nobody invited me to.
No, this generally, no,
Just check.
this is the allocation. I went through this with Marley and Emily, and how much, and I sometimes struggle to recall the specifics of what exactly, but there's different things around Christmas we spend money on.
Probably
At rec center.
Probably for tree lighting stuff.
Yeah.
I thought there was.
You gave money to the hospital.
Invited me.
Husbands.
I don't know that it involved that, but it was more purchases for celebratory.
Oh, yeah, like,
Yeah.
Because it also has in here Remembrance Day, $750. And I had suggested tonight before the meeting started that it be looked at that possibly we could buy a poppy flag to fly November 1st to 11th. And I believe you said you'd look at the.
Yeah, we'll look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I think it'd be nice to have in front of the,
Yeah.
yeah.
I assumed that was gonna be flown because I had asked that last year. We had discussed it getting flame, taking down the, all every channel matters and putting it
Okay,
first of November, so,
okay,
but we didn't get one apparently.
okay, I think it has to come from the region, but,
Yeah, if you can order it, but we talked about that last year.
yeah. Okay, had a few things that
Okay.
popped up. Online, 277,
277?
yeah, and 278. Just wondering why the propane, it's like $64 and $0 for 2026.
So that is probably a fault of mine from the sense of like, when I did the initial allocation in 2025, unfortunately, that may have been overstated. That not so much the 64 is wrong, because that is like a trivial amount of propane, because they don't really use it to heat, they just use it for barbecues and whatnot.
Okay,
The 635 was probably my shot at trying to allocate that, looking at the stations and not knowing that that was the case, and way over allocating what propane was there. So that's the trouble.
this
It's not at that.
6,000 was too much.
Yeah.
Oh, it was way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was not our, like Natalie and Diane's allocation, that was mine when I didn't.
Okay, okay,
When I didn't know how much I
okay,
actually
and
spent.
the same for hardware?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
because they don't use propane at all, but I believe propane may even be used to heat the rest of the fire department.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
okay, lines, 288, 288, 289, and 290 for, gas and fuel. One is Beersville, one is Ruxton, and then another one's Beersville, so I'm thinking one should be
It's Harcourt.
Harcourt, HFS.
Yeah, you're.
Probably 290.
I think you're right there.
Yeah.
And that is something that was, yeah,
Yeah, just
Yeah, no,
to,
you're
for
right.
next year, so that we,
yeah,
yeah.
no, you're right.
Um,
And I think it's the third one there, that is the 3,000, 366.
Yeah.
Which should be line, that should be lines under 290, I think. Yeah.
can you explain the sharp decrease on 302? I know the answer, but
What?
okay, it answered it. Going from 46,000 to 7,000.
What line is that?
302.
302.
Equipment for Exton.
So, in that case, there were a number of these, where if you look at the provincial budget, there's a big allocation here, like I've got it right here from 20. Like we've only, actually, you can look at the, you can look at the top of the budget. But if you look at the 2025, budget, there are very large allocations, like for station and building is 110, lighting equipment is 148. It's not broken down
Yeah.
by PPE, firefighting equipment, hoses, nozzles, et cetera, et cetera. So when you do break that, that's why, that's why I say, when you look at these figures, they're there, but if you aren't actually working with the numbers, you don't really recognize, like the 46, almost no figure in the fire department budgets for either department went down. They all went up, but how they get allocated into what line items changed radically because of the breakout with PPE, firefighting equipment, all that. So it's simply a matter of, not extrapolating, but
Yeah.
assigning it across a larger set of.
Well, it was just
Interest.
something that stuck out and I just thought it'd be best to.
No, it's not the only instance of it at all.
Yeah.
There's several instances where there's, and I think I say here, I did in that one. But there are other entries where I said, allocate to other line items.
Because like line 300 is a one-off, right? The relocation for the fire truck?
Yes, it's a one-off.
So I still had a few more.
Sorry.
Line 362, works general equipment, other. It went from 34,000 to 2,000.
Yeah, so again, there, it's the same thing, same explanation I gave for when we just quoted on the fire, is that there's, but you, on the other side, if you look directly above that, where all the zeros are for
Yeah.
2025, and then there's allocations. Effectively, those larger allocations moved into all those other line
Okay.
items,
Yeah.
and they're broken out more meaningfully.
And I just wanted to make sure the sewer flushing was correct. So line 384 and 386.
Yes,
Because one says the KRSC figure and the other one also says the KRSC, but we only have one agreement, cost sharing with the flusher, so. Not quite sure. I think it's the 20,896, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
so if we look at, it's easier things are easier. That's our contractual amount there,
Yeah.
the 2836, the one directly below it. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Geez.
So,
Oh, sorry.
so we do, flushing, but not street cleaning
Yeah,
with the Cathedral Service Commission.
It's just how it was named, like that header was named in our system.
Okay.
Yeah, Because
So just to
before,
make sure we don't,
we're budgeted
Yeah.
under there,
Yeah.
it'll be renamed.
just to
yeah,
make sure there's no confusion going forward, like, because we do have to,
yeah, the
clean the
allocation,
streets and, yeah.
yes. Yeah, so that becomes more of, I suppose you could have said street cleaning, yeah, that should just be street cleaning. There.
Without the flushing, right?
Right, yeah, it would be better, and the sewer repair and maintenance, storm sewer is a different, the flushing of it for replacing storm
Yeah.
sewers and repairing is a different, yeah. I know.
Can you reduce that?
Good point.
The storm sewer repair maintenance, now that I look more closely, that's reduced.
Well, it's not exactly, because it's reduced slightly, because if you add the 2075 to the 28 and the 15, then.
Yeah.
It is reduced slightly. Yeah, but, yeah, it's closer to the figure.
So,
So Elaine had some questions.
No, some of them are answered, but
Okay.
I'm still just concerned with the rates, so. That's my concern.
Yeah. For what it's worth, this is the hardest year because when you graft a new set of items onto another set, and it is difficult to follow and to cross-reference. You work with it for
Right.
hours and hours. I know that. If you don't, if you just see it cold, then it doesn't make sense necessarily.
Yeah,
Next year, if we hold to that structure, then it'll be much easier to do the
right.
comparisons.
One year it says 5 and it went from 50, but that 50 is in another line.
Yeah.
So if you look at it,
Multiple
you
lines, yeah.
see it, but
Yeah,
it's still, and just a couple of things that are in there that in this, I don't really agree with, so.
Do you have other?
no, I was finished. Anybody else have any other questions? No, as we can move on to utility.
Just one more. 389 snow and ice removal, salt and sand. The price has gone up 40%.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Salt and sand has gone up 40%.
389.
Very last.
I think with salt and sand, what, if I recall correctly, you don't always end the year with the same amount left over. And this is one of the years when we had less left over, so therefore I have to buy more.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, are we ready for the question?
Question.
All those in favor of motion of the proposed motion 111225.04 signify by saying aye. Aye. Those against nay.
Nay.
Motion carried. Proposed motion 111225.05. Be it resolved that Council of Five Rivers resolves that pursuant to subsection 1174 of the Local Governance Act, the total budget for the water and wastewater utility for 2026 would consist of total revenues of 350,257 and total expenditures of 350,257. So remember for that,
So moved.
Karen, and the seconder? Yeah. Katie, questions or comments on the utility budget? That's just below. No question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those against nay. Motion carried. Okay, 12, new business. A, appointment of assistant clerk. Motion 111225.06. Be it resolved that council appoints Tiffany Kale as assistant clerk for Five Rivers and revokes the appointment of Natalie Howard as assistant clerk.
So moved. Sorry.
And all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those against nay. Motion carried. B, proposed bylaw B0502 respecting the sewer system. Bylaw B0501 has been amended to update information pertaining to sewer permit applications, sewer installation and connection fees. Proposed motion 111225.07. Be it resolved that council approves the first reading of an amendment to bylaw B05 respecting the sewer system.
So moved.
Seconder? Questions or comments? Those in favor signify by saying aye. Against nay. Motion carried. C, proposed policy P0403, schedule of municipal fees and charges. Policy P0402 has been amended to update information pertaining to sewer connection fees and fire protection and prevention fines. Proposed motion 111225.08. Be it resolved that council approves the first and final reading to enact proposed policy P0403, municipal fees and charges. Mover? And a seconder? Karen? Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Against nay. Motion carried. D, proposed policy P1401, Civic Awards Program. Proposed motion 111225.09. Be it resolved that council approves the first and final reading to enact proposed policy P1401, Civic Awards Program.
So moved.
Seconder? Yeah. Questions or comments?
Yes.
Okay.
So my only question is about 3.13. Once an award has been approved by council and given to a nominee at the award ceremony, it may not be rescinded. So is it worth including? Like, let's go super crazy. Billy gets an award for best person ever in Five Rivers. And then in 3 years, we find out that he's broken into everyone's houses and stolen everyone's pots. I mean, you know, that's crazy. Yeah, I think it's something like this. Right? Or
Maybe
like,
they're all done, like cat,
all the
crown jewels.
crown jewels from the king. You know what I mean? Is it worth
Yeah.
including in it that it can never be rescinded?
What's the number again?
It's 313.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
It's like if we give a scholarship, we give the scholarship, but we give, once they halfway through the year, we give half, and at the end of the year, they get the other part of the scholarship. Because if they quit university,
Yeah.
they don't get the whole scholarship, right?
Yeah, so I think it's like,
That's how the small town.
I just think it's easy enough to just remove that part. It would obviously only ever be rescinded in complete, like, you know, very extenuating, very extenuating circumstances,
Mhm.
but then it just doesn't pay us.
But it's also a policy that can be amended quite easily.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, like, are we able to approve of it, the simple amendment of just?
You could,
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
make a note to strike it, and I would agree that it is
Yeah.
somewhat superfluous. It
Yeah.
doesn't really
So
take too much away from
Consensus.
subtracting it. It does prevent that scenario.
I changed my motion to include the amendment.
All the cats,
I agree.
the crown jewels, yeah.
Yeah,
Crown jewels and
So
after
we
half.
have consensus on removing that line, 3.13,
Yeah.
okay?
Like, it's not, looks like.
So the proposed motion 111225.09, with the amendment of removing 3.13. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against nay. Motion carried. Proposed bylaw E0401, respecting mobile vendors and peddlers. Proposed motion 111225.10. Be it resolved, the council approves the first reading of proposed bylaw B0401, respecting mobile vendors and peddlers. Do we have a mover?
So moved.
All right, and a seconder?
Second.
Elaine? Questions or comments?
I have one for this one.
Okay.
So for 5.3, under other rules and operating procedures, on page 5.3, licensed mobile vendors and peddlers may not locate and conduct their business from any property that is less than 150 meters or 500 feet from a grocery store or restaurant. Just because of the one that someone maybe wants to do next to Seaside or whatever, or is this distance something that was like, is common? I just want to know the distance specifically, if that's common.
Language.
Yeah,
Well, the one beside Seaside is private property, so
Yeah.
we can't dictate to them.
may not locate and conduct their business from any property that is less than 150 meters from a grocery store or a restaurant. Is what we're saying.
If they open a business on their property, will they not have to change the property tax rules?
Anyway, basically I just worry
Yeah.
about that,
Yeah,
because I just Google mapped it real quick and it might be.
It's very, very close, but it's on that private property thing that we can't tell people. And we say that in there, we can't tell you whether or not you can sell eggs in your front yard or bunnies or whichever. Like,
I know we talked about it in the county. It's a fair concern or issue, because that would also apply to food trucks that now set up on the other side of the bridge.
They said
As well.
well, Irving's, they wouldn't be allowed there.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Well, it says grocery store or, because GK's.
GK's is right
Yeah.
there.
These kids right there.
Irving's
And he gave a letter that was.
Yeah, Irving sells food too, but,
Yes.
and I had proposed, I had sent that letter, like, that letter had been forwarded to me.
And GK's is on it and so is Seaside.
And, but at the time it was overruled, so.
And I understand that, but what my point is, I feel that these people that have come to me and said, they're losing, like, when these people come in here and work the day, these local businesses are losing at least $500 a day, they told me. That was Kelsey herself.
Yeah.
So that's what she told me, that she's losing on her business. And like she said, I said, well, they're gonna say you're in Crystal Stitches in Richmond.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, but I'm in St. Norbert and I forget how many farms and all that. She said, he pays taxes on
As
it.
a point of information, even if they relocated, let's say they were born law, they may still lose that, just by virtue of people may drive over there. It may not be the proximity to the restaurant that causes the loss. It may just be their existence, in which case, like where they're located,
Yeah, they go.
I would tend to agree that in practice, that could be a problematic clause. I know we've got over it. I'm sort of
Yeah.
retreating from something we discussed, but
Yeah.
I do think, Counselor, point, it is problematic. And it would nullify, as written, it would eliminate, to an area that is already currently used and one that is being planning to be used, from, yeah, so.
At this standpoint, Rishabako does not let any food trucks in Rishabako, and I checked that out there in the bylaw, that's none. But I also agree with Elaine, you mentioned, like, it's good to have competition, if they're selling something different, that's fine. But what I'm saying, make it a fairer price, like, I mean, I just think that they should be paying a little bit more. Because everything else we've put up here, and we haven't been happy with having to put things up. So if these people are coming in here for a day or two and cashing, going on with, they should be paying us a little bit more too. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
And that's the only way I can explain it to someone else.
So do we agree we will omit that 5.3 statement? 100 or change?
Yeah, that's,
Leave it.
yeah,
I
and that's the thing,
agree.
I just wanted to point out
Yep,
that, and it would be worth, I don't know, do we check? And certainly this type of clause exists in other municipalities, so we wanna check what the distance is, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
bylaw enforcement.
Yeah.
Right?
We're
But
back.
it's- just a point of information, as a practical matter, though, I don't think we measure Kate to
No.
determine that you would then be banning people from operating where the food trucks are today.
Yeah.
Because they would be less than 150 meters from CK's or GK's, sorry.
Right.
And the seaside would also be less than 150 meters.
Yeah.
For the proposed, so
Yeah,
So they wouldn't be allowed,
they would not be allowed as that's written,
Right.
if you do not strike 5.3.
right?
And I think
Maybe if they wanna operate within a certain distance from existing business that do pay the property tax and everything else, then maybe that has a higher cost. You know what I mean? Or something, like, I don't know, but there has to be
the property
something.
now belongs to Jimmy Ferguson.
20 feet.
They're on
from
private
driveway
property.
to parking area.
Yeah.
For the Main Street, and it's 500 feet, so there's quite.
So Rexton did a survey on food trucks that we've talked about before, and the residents who live here like the food trucks, and they also pay property taxes too.
I agree.
So it does create competition, and we've had this conversation. They're not there, as pointed out by Tiffany, 5 days a week. It's maybe once a month sometimes.
No, it's, not right now, it's still once a week they're here. And the other day, last Thursday, there was 2 of them here, side by side. So it's not once a month, it's
I'm
once a
scared
year.
of each other's competition anyways.
I don't have a problem with that. I see everybody's view and I accept that. But what I'm just saying is, Everywhere else we name, we're cutting corners, so this is a place where we can add a little revenue to us. If they're making,
Well, we've already accepted
We're not gonna
the,
make any money off it. It's,
Yeah.
you put up to $1,000, well, how many comes, 3?
Yeah.
yeah, we've already just
Done.
accepted the municipal fees and charges,
Yeah.
bylaw, or policy.
okay,
So, yes, Elaine.
I would, yes, the second thought on that, probably could remove it, but
you have,
because, no, yeah. But I don't think the location is why they go there. It's not because, oh, here's GK's, I'm gonna go there because it's like, that's not, if I'm gonna go to Casey Drive, whatever. I'm gonna go whether it's there or at the school, like,
Yeah.
It's
it doesn't
parking.
matter,
Right.
the distance to me.
And the vendors
So I
are
don't think-
limited on areas. that
Well,
you
90% of the, or 99% of the people that go drive anyway, so if you drive another,
Exactly.
Yes.
So I don't think it's
Yeah. And they
let them
don't,
set up.
they're not here in the wintertime, they're only here in the summertime too, so.
I
yes,
think,
Karen.
I think one of the big issues, and Kelsey and I have had many a conversations over there, over this, is, when they go into when they go just outside the, industrial park in the summers on Friday afternoons for lunchtime, that kills her. Cause that's a big money day for Kelsey.
mhm.
And I understand that. But they're not there
Where do
every
they sell?
Friday. She told me where they were.
They set up right outside of Imperial.
Yeah,
That's in the perspective.
And that's the mayor.
but you're,
Want them there.
tell me, like, anyway, the thing is, like, it's free enterprise.
Yeah,
And I told her I'd bring it to council. It wasn't up to me.
Well, I did too, so
Yeah.
that's all I can do.
okay, so do we have consensus that we will strike?
another point is if you ban the food trucks, when you have all these events, Roots and
Yeah.
Rivers,
Yes,
Frosty Fest,
Yeah.
and nobody else wants to go set up,
Right.
then they technically wouldn't be allowed there either.
Yeah,
that's right.
Or might not wanna come.
yeah, well, it's, yeah,
Okay,
So consensus is that we will remove 5.3 licensed mobile vendors and peddlers may not locate and conduct their business from any property that is less than 150 meters for 5 years
yes, you have
from
to.
a grocery store or a restaurant.
okay,
Who
I think I would
put that on
put
me
there
anyway?
left.
I do too. Yeah,
It shows that we're trying.
exactly. We're at least making an effort to help the businesses. If we don't, and they park literally in front of GK's on the road.
Well, where they
There's no-
park by the bridge, it's still too close by this law. So, and they've been doing that for a long time.
So what happens when they park in Food Lions parking lot?
They have,
Up to Food Lane.
Food Lanes property.
the same with Jimmy Ferguson's allowing them to go there. I told that to,
Yeah, Kelsey.
yeah,
So
I think we're crazy to
For
get rid
one
of it.
person or two, we can't, like, this is like,
Right.
the consensus was, they wanted them there.
yes,
people want the food trucks to come, it's fun to have something.
It's
to do
diverse.
for a while.
yes.
Wish it-
But if we're leaving that in there, then we're
We're trying to,
Right.
because
Yeah.
we're saying, yes, we want food trucks, and then we're saying, well, you can't go where you go though, because like, you know what I mean?
And
And then
Red
there's
State
gonna
is
be-
really small, so there's
Yeah.
really,
There's not a lot of places that a vendor,
yeah.
you get permission from someone to put their truck.
It's like tires or, I wish they come Thursday.
Once you get your new arena, maybe they will.
Oh yeah, new arena. It's an outdoor rink.
It's.
Okay. 5.3, consensus to remove that, again, Katie, yes, Karen,
Sure.
Mike,
Oh,
no, Billy,
Yes.
okay, do we need full consensus or just?
No.
No,
you-
okay. Okay, so with the amendment that we strike 5.3, all those in favor signify by saying aye, those against nay.
no,
Motion carried. I'm an aye as well. F, honorariums and mileage for volunteer members of the Rural Planning Committee. Proposed motion, 111225.11. Be it resolved that council approves for each volunteer member of the Rural Plan Committee an honorarium of $100 per meeting, as well as a mileage expense allowance of 50 cents per kilometer for round trips of 10 kilometers or more. Would somebody like to move that?
So moved.
Okay, Katie will move. We have a
No,
second.
it's Karen. Karen,
Karen and Katie.
Karen and Katie.
Any questions or comments on that?
How many meetings are there?
6 or 7, I think it's down to 6, yeah, might be 7,
Yeah, there's at least 6 left.
yeah.
So it's 100+ mileage?
Yeah.
For round trips
Yeah,
over
yeah.
Canada, some of them travel from further away. So the ones that live, meetings take place here, so if you're right in town,
Mhm.
you wouldn't qualify, but if you're are traveling from away, you would.
And so if you do live right next door, what's the $100 for?
The attendance of meetings and participating.
There's a lot of work, there's a lot, it's probably an hour before, maybe 2,
At least.
reading the material, and then we come to the meeting and the.
And we get that much more material again.
Yeah, and then afterwards, it's a lot of work, it's compiled into, yeah, the 3 months instead of 2 years.
Yeah.
Aileen, I think your hand was up first.
Where did this come from? Was it a request from one of the volunteers?
No,
Required.
it was from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's only fair. When we spoke with Serge at the planning, he said some communities do that for the volunteers because it's their time. Their time is worth money too. I mean,
And it's just for the volunteers to be clear.
yeah, it's not for.
Not for us.
It's
That's
not-
what I thought.
There's 4 volunteers.
Yes. And it's so
Just for the
compact,
volunteers.
and we're doing 1 or 2 meetings a week, and it's a lot of
Yeah, 1 or
time.
2, yeah. and-
How far is the furthest person away?
It's not, it's 4 people and some of them live in town, some of them live out of town. Mundleville or, Claremont.
Wonderful.
James?
No, that's why we put.
I don't think, I don't live in town, actually.
Where's
Oh, was that story? I got that wrong. I thought.
Shane lived in East Branch?
But,
Mike has a question.
How often how many different communities have paid these?
Oh, I don't know.
We're required to do this. We're just being lucky to get in under the
Are
wire.
you talking about paying
Yes,
or the role playing?
you said certain, some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Did he
Yeah.
emphasize on how many pay and how many
No,
don't
they
pay?
didn't. But I think it's only fair. I mean, these people are giving up their time.
They also signed up for it.
Exactly, they volunteered.
They did.
Well, $100 is pretty good.
That
Plus
was from
mileage.
when you first did the policy and we
Yeah.
had budgeted for it, but
Yeah,
I thought it came back that said if you were salaried, you couldn't do the per diem. And that's why it was removed.
but that's for
It's
us
not.
as counselors. This isn't
Oh, it's
about
for- just the
counselors.
4
Just the 4
volunteers.
volunteers. It's
Yeah.
not us. It's not us. The reason I believe is because it's so compact, this will be done by December.
Yeah, the end of December.
It'll be done. Like I'll tell you right now how many more meetings we have.
You see that?
So how do you know it'll be done? Like if it's done, just to get it done, you're not gonna do it just, okay, we're getting it done right or wrong,
3.
right?
It will be right and it will be complete at the end of December.
Okay, because just say, oh, we're getting it done.
6 meetings left till the end of the year. But we're doing,
It's labor intensive.
in 8 meetings, we're doing what takes 2 to 3 years.
I think it was 7 or so.
Yeah, but it's like,
Yeah.
and we're doing like,
Well, it was 2, but I mean, normally they would meet once a month. Okay, so we're meeting once a week, sometimes twice a week in order to get this complete. So. Same amount of meetings, compressed.
So what is the reasoning? Why wouldn't you go into January and February to?
Well, because we want it to go, it has to go to, it comes to council, there's a timeline. And it comes to council in January for approval, and then it goes to the public for, opinions and public consultation.
And that's what the
And what's the-
KFC
what's-
does that,
And
right?
what's the timeline? Like,
Well, we're hoping to have it finished by spring, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
before.
it's roughly that part of it after you've got first draft, if you will, first lead draft, it's about 3 months for public consultation, council, et cetera. So, and then in order to, nothing can be passed before the month before the election. So the election in May, that means April. So therefore you're kind of on a timeline where it needs to be done by March in order to get through the process. So it's been 3 months with the committee, if you will, 3 months outside the committee, 6 months overall, and then it's, yeah, and that gets in before the election.
So council gets to
Yes,
adjust it or add to it.
In January,
yes.
a special meeting in
One
January.
meeting. then.
Yes, and then there'll be a public
Yes,
meeting.
that's one meeting.
There's one meeting, so you're gonna have to read it. and you're gonna
Special
have to note
meeting.
it, And then we come to the meeting.
How many
and we
pages?
discuss
So we
it.
don't even wanna know.
It's a whole,
But a lot of this though, these are,
this is something we should not rush through. It's very.
a lot of this, it's already done, and a lot of the provisions are from the province. We can't change them. They tell us that we need a fence around our pool. They tell us about, other fences and there's a lot that's already written. So,
But there are things in each,
yeah.
ward you get.
So we're already using Rexton's and we're already using Harcourt's because they're complete. The only two that aren't done are the two other LSDs, Wellford and Rishabako Parish. So those two are going to reflect what is in the other two. Plus
Changes. to
Plus
those.
changes, yeah, we will have, yeah.
Yeah.
And the province has changes too, so there's been stuff that's changed.
Excuse me.
Another thing about this is we were mandated to do this when we were elected initially to have a rural plan done. Another important reason to have this done is Transaqua.
Yes.
You want to stop them from expanding, you zone them out of expanding. So how do you do that? You do a rural plan so that they possibly cannot expand any further. You have to look, and those
If
are
food carts can go there.
and we want to ensure that heavy industry, we have one heavy industrial in our area, and that's Delco. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
But you have to be very careful where you allow this stuff, and that's what this rural plan is doing. And trust me, the way they're clear cutting, Ford's Mills, Bearsville, it's ridiculous. So I had suggested in the rural plan, for example, anybody clear cutting their land will have to leave a 20 to 50 foot buffer. So when you drive by, it looks forested, behind it, it's empty. But that's something we can control. And I believe now, because we've been here 3.5 years, or 3 years, however long, feels like 30, however long we've been here, we have the opportunity. And I agree with Elaine, it can't be rushed, but we can't
It's
afford
worse if
not.
we don't have it.
Oh, if we don't have
Someone
it,
can set up a gravel pit next to your property if there's no zoning. And
Yeah.
right now, there's no zoning
No.
in 2 LSDs. So that's really,
Let's get her done.
that's the plan. So the motion is on the table.
So that'll be what, so it's 4 people, 6 meetings left?
yep, 6 meetings.
Yes.
That's it.
Wouldn't $100 be sufficient per meeting?
Isn't that what we're saying?
You're saying
Plus
Canada plus mileage,
Plus mileage, yeah.
and that's 50 cents per kilometer.
Yeah. So if they travel 50 kilometers,
It's
Who's
100.
coming 50 kilometers?
Harcourt,
I live in Harcourt,
East Branch,
East Branch.
where's Jan live?
Littleville.
East Branch, no,
Branch.
she lives in East Branch,
Yeah.
East Branch too, that's a distance.
Who's the other?
Jan,
Jan Manger.
Jan Manger,
And
yeah,
Shane, and who's the other?
Tracy.
Jan, no, Tracy's not, Jan Manger,
Janet.
Janet Petley,
Shane.
and that's it, and then you and I and Rob.
Yeah, what's her
Another-
name? Ally,
Ally.
She lives in,
said Galloway or.
Callaway.
yeah.
And hopefully not to be unhelpful, but another alternative might be to give like a one-time 500 plus mileage, just get simpler. So that we weren't going repeated.
You mean instead of the $100?
Yeah, like 500 plus mileage, yeah, just for participating in the community period. I don't know if that makes it simpler or easier.
It's the same difference almost.
There's 4 and at $100, 6 meetings, that's.
If there's 8 meetings.
Could go to 8. Right.
No.
Those are sillies and.
Yeah.
8.
So, okay, hold on, I'm gonna answer your question in a minute. We'll look at something. Do we have any money left in training?
I guess we're really splitting hairs over like, we are, it's like just, yeah.
And I mean, they're really helping us out here, and it's a lot of work.
It is
So
low.
it's too, it's for them.
It's,
It
yeah,
is low.
I think it's only fair.
Oh, yeah, just for us reading it's a lot.
Well, imagine that every week.
Oh,
Then you get, so I don't know if this is possible or not, because I think there's money left, like $10,000,
where?
workshop and conferences, legislative.
Oh, you're looking at the budget.
Yeah, well, let's just think of where we can take the money from, right?
Yeah,
Well,
it's less than
That's okay.
$4,000, it's less than.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, those against nay, motion carried. G, transfer from general operating reserve. The administration advises council to approve transfers from the general operating reserve fund to the general operating fund to pay for the production and installation of signage. Proposed motion.
Move.
111225.12. Be it resolved, the council approves the treasurer to transfer up to $20,000 from the general operating reserve to pay for the production and installation of municipal signage.
I move it.
Billy,
Get the signs up.
seconder,
second.
Mike, questions or comments? Karen?
So that says up to 20,000. Do you think we're gonna need to take it?
We haven't got our full quotes in yet, so I'm not.
Okay,
sure,
but this is to rather to be safe rather than sorry, but
Yeah, I
not
mean, it's probably
necessarily.
on the high side, although with the big highway signs, it's kind of how much is installation and what exactly the back and that kind of thing. So we're just getting quotes now, but that's what we estimate should be able to cover it.
But, because I'm just thinking if we have reserves, but never mind. Okay, I'm good.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against nay. Motion carried. 13, closed session, motion 111225.13, to exit open session and go into a closed session. Oh, sorry. Aye. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And against nay. Carried. Recording.